So what is going on, Garage Couple fans? Let us install this seicane touchscreen Android Auto and Apple CarPlay head unit on the Wrangler TJ. This is supposed to fit into the original slot. It is the original size, which is 1.5 din. You are 1.5 of a wife.
What?
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. I guess it's good. I was gonna get mad quickly. I don't know. It sounds wrong.
It is a good thing. So subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow, and let's get this thing done.
Now, for those of you just tuning in, my name is Aline, and I drive that JKU. I am a teacher, educator, all the above. Greg is over there. He drives all the other Jeeps. He is a physician, and this is what we love to do. All DIY. We're going to show you everything that you can do in your garage with simple hand tools. And today is that entertainment system that everyone loves because we love a little entertainment.
Now, as you can see from the packaging, it's a car entertainment system. I would have never guessed in a million years. Now, we only got this part. We did not order any other parts, no different faceplate or any other products. Now, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this bad boy.
It's pretty bad, huh?
Pretty bad. So we got a package full of wiring harness, and we got our head unit. Look at how OEM that looks. That looks so nice. It actually looks really large. I hope it fits, you know? So if you guys have been following along with our channel, this is the Jeep Wrangler TJ that we recently bought. We also bought that LJ really recently too, but we're just waiting to finish building this white one so that we could start working on the LJ. Ollie over there taking some photos. What are you doing?
It's a car entertainment system. Better than expected. I'm gonna tell you if it's better than expected by the end of the episode.
So just coming off to the side here, I don't know if you guys saw last week's episode, but we installed those flat fender flares from Hooked Road. They are awesome. We also have recently installed this Garvin Adventure Rack, as well as that Rampart soft top and that Hooked Road rear bumper as well. So on this week's episode, we're going to be futzing around with this portion of the Jeep, the head unit. Now what this head unit is an old school Kenwood that actually was all apart when we got the Jeep. And today we're gonna remove this. We're gonna remove this whole faceplate, and we're gonna get the job done. So why don't we jump into it?
Jump in. Go jump in.
What was that, Ollie?
This looks a little bit like Lucky Charms. It's magically delicious with every color you're gonna need to
get the job done. What does that even mean?
I don't know. Just go with it.
Okay, so a couple of things. Look at that. That actually looks absolutely beautiful. Look at how pretty that is. There's all the buttons on the front. We'll go through all of those menus once we install this device. Now, we're gonna go ahead and open up all these wiring harnesses. Here's a couple of things that I want to forewarn you all about. This kit did not come with any instructions. So that is going to be a lot of fun on our end in order to figure out. You also, before you attempt a job like this, make sure you have yourself a pair of electrical tools such as crimpers, pliers, cutters, zip ties, all those different things. So we'll actually show you that in a moment.
Now I do have to tell you guys, I just noticed they're actually all labeled with what they're for. So video out.
What's going on?
How much, Greg?
Alrighty, so for this portion, you're gonna need yourself a nice flathead screwdriver to go ahead and remove this upper trim panel. Now, in all of the model TJs, this is our 5th TJ, they all are held in with clips. There's nothing else holding this in on any of the models. However, on some of the models, so this is also in our model, this is a later model TJ, 2003. This is held in also with just clips. You just put a flathead or a trim removal tool and it pops right out. But in some model TJs, like our old 2001, I guess 2001 is probably the last year or before that, there was actually a screw right over here in that ashtray holding it. So if that's what you have, make sure you check that out. Now, this is already an aftermarket radio. Looks like we got 4 Phillips. Let's go ahead and remove that now. Now, anytime you're dealing with an aftermarket exhaust, I don't know why, but when I say the word aftermarket, the first word that comes to my mind is exhaust. anytime you're dealing with an aftermarket radio like this, you're gonna be, there's gonna be random wires, and it looks like someone already did the job back here. So why don't we go ahead and disconnect their wiring harnesses, and this is the radio for sure. That unplugs, and that's it. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can make any sense out of this. Best thing in the world would be if that's, and it looks like it is, dude. Oh my goodness, that is it. Wow. Is it? Did we just luck out? If we just lucked out and that harness is exactly the same, we're about to end the video here and you guys are on your own.
Is that kind?
No, I'm just kidding. We'll never do that. But look, this is just a universal harness. And all they've done is they've tapped in from the factory harness. They've just T-connected and tapped each and individual one. There's like about 20 of them. So this part is actually kind of tedious. Let's see if it actually fits. And if not, we'd have to, oh, and it fits. That is pretty wicked. So typically head units come in two sizes, single DIN or double DIN. Now the thing is, TJs are actually 1.5 DIN. So that's why if you put these single DIN head units in, you actually need yourself one of these borders so that it occupies that whole space. Otherwise you'd have this really awkward gap. Now the nice thing is the replacement is a 1.5 DIN, which should technically be exactly what you're looking for. So we lucked out with the wiring harness, but let's show you the other wires. There's a Bluetooth wire, which is so that you can, when you speak on the phone, there's a reverse wire, there's all sorts of different wires, there's even inputs, audio video inputs, so that you could use stuff on the screen. So why don't we go ahead and screw that head unit in. If you need help with the wiring, just drop a line below. You just connect color to color and go from there. So do this now. So we're going to walk you through all of the wires that have come with the unit. So there are these two wiring harnesses, which we don't need to use because the job is already done. Now this just depends on your original harness and allows you to connect into your vehicle's harness right over here. This next one is an antenna adapter. Our antenna, and that goes into right over here. Our antenna actually looks just like this on the TJ, so we don't actually need this piece either. Next, we got two USB inputs, which are right over here, two separate USB inputs. So these actually just connect to this white portion, and it has two separate slots for USB. Now I'm guessing this is if you have like a USB drive that has music or any other USB accessory, this is the one for you. We don't need these. Next up, we have the backup camera wiring harness. We're gonna hold on to this because we have some tricks up our sleeve. Next, this is the GPS receiver. This allows the head unit to have GPS signal, so we're gonna keep this as well. This looks like another USB. This is an adapter, we don't need this. We don't really use USB anymore. Next up, we have this microphone over here, which is for the Bluetooth audio. We're gonna mount this right behind the steering wheel. And last but not least, we have this audio video input, which will allow us to plug in various accessories and devices later on after the fact. So why don't we go ahead and just plug everything into its position. That's that. Just fits right in. In fact, the microphone has a slot right over here. I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in as well. And then we got our GPS, which just screws into this slot right over here. And then we're gonna go ahead and pop it into the vehicle. So the first thing I wanna do is find a spot for the GPS that's somewhat on the top and unobstructed. I don't wanna put it on anything that's gonna hinder my ability to remove any parts of the dash. As you can see, I like the way the clips hold it in place, and I don't wanna have to unplug and plug it in every single time. So the spot that I found that I like is right over here. Let me show you. This is right on the back side of the upper vent. I don't think that will hinder anything, and it gives me plenty of length on the cable to plug it into the head unit. So once you've cleaned that spot, go ahead and remove this double-sided tape, and we are in business. I feel like James Bond with this device.
Next up, we're gonna mount the mic. Again, wiping down the surface so it sticks properly, and then take off that tape and go for it.
That's really cool. It has a little holder. So we're gonna probably just mount it just like so. And to do so, we're gonna have to run the wires from the back. All that takes is a flathead screwdriver, and remove this panel right over here. It's literally just 2 Phillips and 2 clips on the bottom. Now let's get this spaghetti and let's make some applesauce out of it.
You do not make applesauce out of spaghetti, sir.
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll stick to cooking, huh?
So we have that mounted dead center, just like so. And that actually, the double-sided tape that comes with this is super, super sticky. I'm very impressed by the quality of that, because oftentimes manufacturers cut corners and it's not always like that. So here we are. I threaded it through the back, and without further ado,
You make your applesauce.
why don't we go ahead and put this back on? Just line up the tabs on the bottom. This brings so much joy to my life. Let's go ahead and plug in that antenna. Let's get the GPS. Let's plug that in. It's a tiny, tiny little nut here, but we're just gonna do this hand tight. Now let's plug in the microphone, and let's just plug in this device for the backup camera, which basically has a wire for ground, wire for reverse, and the actual camera itself. Now that we have everything, we're gonna just go ahead and do some wire management here. And then that's it. Let's put it into place and show you all of the menus and all the different functions. Now, for my favorite part, let's thread this all back into position. Luckily for us, the TJ has a really deep dashboard that is really, really easy to thread things into. Time for the moment of truth. Let's see if it fits.
Glove tap.
Just a quick glove tap. And that's actually in place. Now for the final piece, the upper trim.
This is literally why I love a Jeep. You can pull every part apart in 5 seconds, and then it comes right back on.
So here's the old. Why don't we go ahead and see the new? Now, one thing I remember reading, this thing has some ambient lighting functionality. So I'm curious to see how that works, if you don't mind.
First time turning the baby on.
Also, what do you guys think of this key? This is the Jeep key. This is that's the 03. This is the 06 LJ. Let's put in the right key here. Let's see. Will it work? Will it work? Oh, it works. Android. And what do you guys think is better, Android or iPhone?
Oh, start a war.
Start a battle here. All right, how cool is this? We got navigation, Bluetooth, apps, theme, radio, music. Let's see, we got mode, navi, music. I guess it just shuffles video. We got back. Oh, that's cool. You could change the brightness. Equalizer. So that's actually pretty intensive. Great. Why don't we go home? How do I go to radio? Do you see a radio button? I guess what we'll do is we'll just keep going.
Radio's right there.
Here, 87.5. This, I love the way it looks. What do you think? That is a really cool way to switch around. Let's go to 102.7. Oh wow. That's cool. That's super cool. So I guess I wonder if I just hold it down. Oh, nice. And it actually tells you the artist and all that kind of stuff. That's really cool. So we have band. We have AMS. Oh, that's, I guess, auto search. This is SD card for GPS, USB, phone. That's the phone button. We'll have to change the language there. And then we have another button over here. There's a restore button, seek and play. Very good. Wow, APK installer settings. That's really cool. Google.
What?
That's super cool. Go back home.
Pair success.
That is super, super cool. connected to Auleen's phone. Let's go to mode. So then that's really cool. So now we have Bluetooth audio on the phone. We can play it direct to the car. That's cool. We can make phone calls.
YouTube, and then go ahead and search your favorite YouTubers. If you missed our latest episode,
we gotta watch the commercial. We ran into a little bit of an issue. We were trying to replace this rear tire carrier, but unfortunately, because this is the full-length tire carrier, it actually does not. How funny is this? That's not.
that's sick.
How about all these themes? That's super cool. You could change the themes out. Lights on. That's under panel light setting. So now that I've had several days to play around with this touchscreen, I am super impressed by it. Almost every single setting is customizable. It is just like having an Android phone. You get all of the apps that you're used to on your phone and then some. And the GPS, the Google Maps, the Bluetooth audio, everything works perfectly.
There you have it. Honestly, you can see the results for yourself, but I'll walk you through it. The things we didn't need because that was so easy. The other thing I didn't need because that was so easy. That head unit has changed the game for this Jeep. Not only was it easy to install, everything plugged right back in, the trim fit back in, nothing needed to be modified, which was huge. From start to finish, this install probably took us about 15 to 20 minutes. Seicane did a great job with this head unit. We'll drop the link below. We're probably gonna spend the next hour walking through all the different features this head unit has to offer, from the themes to the Bluetooth to the YouTube channel. Might squeeze in another episode of Garage Couple. Totally recommend this product, not only for the quality, but also it was so easy to install. Now, next week we're going a step further. Why are you showing them already? Here we go. That's next week, so stay tuned for all the amazing content. This Jeep has started from the bottom, now we're here.
Enough said. All I have to do is show the box. So make sure to subscribe. It helps us grow, and see you on the next one. Peace.
Okay, just jump right in.